Similarly, we love our friends. And the problem with asexuals is it's hard for them to distinguish the love between friends with the romantic love that others feel, because they don't have that sexual preference. Heteroromantic asexuals are asexuals that define themselves as those who only find romantic interest in those with the opposite sex. Homoromantic are those who find romantic interest with those of the same sex. Biromantic are those who find romantic interest in those in both sexes. And there are also aromantic asexuals, which means they neither find romantic feelings for another human being or sexual desires. And this causes many social issues because they have a hard time distinguishing between friends and romantic loves. Now that we've discussed asexuality and many other kinds of gender identities, let's look into some legality issues.
There are many laws that are being created that affect people with gender identities. And there are also plenty of laws that are laws and groups that are being created to support or restrict marriage between same-sex couples. Same-sex marriage is a really hot topic right now in the United States, and we have plenty of people on both sides of this topic. Our President, Barack Obama, is currently in favor of laws that support all the rights to same-sex couples through marriage. According to the American Civil Liberties Union, or the ACLU, whose website was last updated in 2013, there are 9 states that allow same-sex couples to marry, 2 states that recognize same-sex marriages from other states, 8 states have more restricted, have more comprehensive domestic partnerships, and then 2 other states have more restricted partnership systems. Overall, 20 states have some form of protection for LGBT marriage. Although each state has its own Although each state has its own choice on how it wants to protect LGBT people, the ACLU is also trying to push the rights of marriage for same-sex couples to the federal level. One of the most recent state-level laws that have been created to support those with gender identity is the Illinois Religious Freedom Protection and Civil Union Act, which was put into action by the Illinois state government. According to the Illinois Bar Journal, which is a magazine from the Illinois Bar Association and was last updated in May 2011, the Illinois Religious Freedom Protection and Civil Union Act allows 2 people to become united as long as they are at least 18 years of age, but it will be as a civil union and not as a marriage. This law is also very similar to a previous act that is the Illinois Marriage and Dissolution of Marriage Act, which allows same-sex couples to have the same rights as opposite-sex couples, including marriage, or including divorce. I'm sorry. As stated before, the ACLU is trying to push the recognition of same-sex marriage to a federal level. They will first have to eliminate some of the laws that are restricting marriage between same-sex couples. One of the most commonly known laws that restrict marriage between same-sex couples is the Defense of Marriage Act, also known as DOMA, which was created in 1996. This was found in the American Civil Liberties Union, or Know Your Rights, which was last updated in 2013. But the Defense of Marriage Act was stated as the first federal enactment law pertaining to marriage, and it prohibits same-sex couples to be married, and it also allows states to refuse the recognition of same-sex marriages from other states. The ACLU is not only trying to give same-sex couples rights through their marriage, they're also trying to eliminate discrimination towards them. In the article Know Your Rights from the ACLU also states that each state has their own rights to protect LGBT people in their own ways. For example, in Minnesota, our laws eliminate discrimination for gender identities through housing, marriage, education, and other public accommodations. But the state of Hawaii only eliminates the discrimination of gender identities in housing. There are many states that have laws that eliminate discrimination, but there are plenty that do not have laws against the discrimination of gender identities. Even the ones that do have laws, however, do not always protect all of the identities. According to the aforementioned, if the law pertaining to against the discrimination of gender identities does not include the term gender identity, it won't cover all of the identities, such that it won't cover transsexuals, lesbians, or gays. Because of the discrimination towards gender identities, the ACLU is trying to get the federal government to pass an Employment Non-Discrimination Act this year to further protect gender identities to further protect people with gender identities. And now that we've listed some more of we'll now have Anthony go through some more other types of legality for gender identities.
Some gender identities have trouble with legal documents because they have to decide whether they are male or female. This includes driver's license, birth certificates, and social security cards. So now that we've gone over the different types of gender identities and legalities, we'll conclude and summarize with Ashley.
First, we define what gender identities was, and then what falls into gender identities, and finally, the legality. Gender identities is becoming a major subject in our everyday lives and is affecting who we are as a person. So it's about time we think about our sexuality.